Welcome to your practice today. Today, the water element in traditional Chinese medicine will be our focus. The water element is considered the most precious element. It provides us with a sense of hydration, of nourishment, and it really does influence all of the other elements in the 5-element theory. The water element is this deep nourishment, and oftentimes when we think about nourishing ourselves, it's about adding to our plate. But I want to introduce the idea of saying no. That saying no can actually nourish this element, and that we're allowed to do a little bit less. Even in our yoga practice, sometimes it's like we want to do more and add more. But pulling back and creating soft and reflective and simple practices can be really profound. We're coming into a very brief yin practice, but I'd like to start with a crown pull. So go ahead and close your eyes. You'll bring your fingers to the top of your skull, and you'll just palpate right at the very top. So I've got my pinky all the way to my pointer finger at the top of the skull meeting together, and I'm just going to press down, creating a little bit of movement, and I'm going to move my skin on my head forward and back just a bit, loosening it up. Take a deep breath in, relax your shoulders, and then pause your fingers and start to press them down and pull the crown of the head apart, just dragging the fingers. Come back to center, press down, and just spreading apart the top of the skull. Keep breathing, and then envisioning your ability as you widen and open the skull. If anything at all, that to-do list is just starting to evaporate out of the crown of the head. Let's do it a couple more times. Press down. Our head doesn't get a lot of love. It doesn't get a lot of pressure. So let this feel good, that you're just opening and spreading and just envisioning and sensing that you're releasing any of the tasks that aren't helpful for the day. Take one more. Press your finger pads down. Open and stretch the skull apart. And then release your hands down. Take a moment just to notice the sensation at the crown of the head. Let there be some lightness. Deepen your breath. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open. From here, I want you to extend your legs out in front of you for a moment. Give your legs a little shake. The TCM lens is also related to the bladder and the kidney meridians in the body. So these run through the inner thighs, the inseam of the thighs, and also the back of the legs. So bring the inside of your feet together. Walk your sitting bones back just a bit. Take your fingertips beside you. And then imagining that you're able to roll the inner thighs in, back, and apart. This is inner spiral. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Start to walk your hands forward and just gently drop your head. Take another inhale, and imagining the tailbone all the way to the back of the head, the skin there is stretching and lengthening, and then start to hinge forward. You could use a block here to place your head on. I like to stack my fists and start to bring my head down if I have that mobility for the day. Some people might be very flexible and are able to bring their head to their heels. But wherever you are, this isn't about doing more. In fact, I'd like you to even consider doing a little less. Can you support yourself a little higher than what your deepest expression is? And trust that that is a way of nourishing yourself. The bladder meridian runs up the back of the body. And I want you just to sense and feel this gentle stretching as you drop your brain.
towards your prop, towards your hands, towards your heels, and there's this gentle stretching and elongating through the back of your body. And then stillness is also what nourishes this element. And trying not to fidget, trying not to adjust, and seeing if you can't let the stillness begin to feed you here. Deepen your breath at the back of your throat. As you exhale, just sensing the watery presence of the body starting to soften and pour downwards. Even feeling the hydration around your brain, your eyes. Take another breath here. And take a long, slow exhale. Sensing the ability to release and let go of the to-do list, the tasks. And then ever so slowly start to lift the head. Bring the hands beside you, start to re-support the spine, curl up, and then just close your eyes as you arrive at the top and pause. You can also bring your hands behind you to support yourself. And once again, just staying still for a moment. Sensing and noting the simplicity of being here. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open, extend your legs out in front of you and give yourself just a little shake. And then from here, I'd like you to go ahead and lie on your back. And bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. So noticing the area that we just stretched. Now I want you just to rock and massage that area. And move slow like it's your favorite body of water. So whether it's, a warm bath or a river or the pulsation of the ocean, that there's just this gentleness, this fluidity that you're welcoming into the back body. And then from here, you'll extend your legs up. Some may not be able to straighten the knees all the way. That's entirely okay. Working on extending your legs as much as you can. And then take your hands to the back of your thighs. And I just want you to rub from your knees towards the sitting bones for a moment. You can press down as much as you like here. And then from here, grab somewhere along the legs that makes sense and start to pull yourself together. If we were sitting, this would be a seated forward bend, but we're lying back. And what this does is it encourages the spine to be supported, but it also kind of shows us how tender it is in the back body a lot of times. So instead of letting your bum lift, we're going to keep the sacrum on the floor and just gently pull the legs down. And you can have the hands anywhere at all that makes sense for you, and the knees can be a little bit bent or a lot if you need that as well. I've got my feet apart as well. And then rest back. Noticing any tenderness or tightness. And we're not trying to work against ourselves. Remember, even finding that end range is not where we're at today. This is about saying no. It's about doing a little less and knowing that that is a deep form of nourishment. Notice how much of your back body can rest easily against the floor. Every exhale, it's like you're pouring water on your mat. And the back body is spreading out. Take one more breath. Exhale completely. And then slowly bend your knees. Let your feet come down. Let your arms come by your side and just notice. Notice the contrast between stretching the tissue and now letting the tissue soften. And that you start to attune to that feeling of hydration in the body, of fluidity and movement. This is a wonderful time to transition into meditation or to stay a little longer and take a 1 to 3 minute Shavasana on your own. I'd like to leave you here, but I also want you to take with you into the rest of your day this contemplation of saying no and how that's actually a form of self-care. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.